remember the day that you joined your father on the set of the Bible in Rome? Yes, I do. My image of my father was, he was the character Noah, and he was leading the animals into the ark, and all the animals were following him. And it was the first image that I had of my father working, and it looked like so much fun that I decided I want to do what my father does. And I discovered later that it meant a film director. What is your father's, John Huston, the great maestro's, favorite movie? Treasure of the Sierra Madre. The reason is that my grandfather, Walter Huston, was in the picture, and they both won Oscars for the picture, and it is one of the best adventure films that I have ever seen. Do you still fight like your father did against the colorization of the Maltese falcon? Yes, we won a court case here in France for the colorization of Asphalt Jungle, and the case went very well, and everything was fine. Only I got a letter the other day from Ted Turner saying that he's going to appeal, and he's going to take it to court again. So I hope I can get out of it without losing my shirt. What is the best memory that you have of your father? I think really not the times on the film sets or with glamorous people, but the silent moments. Looking at the ocean in Mexico, playing backgammon, drinking whiskey, and just being friends. What is the last advice that your father gave to you? Well, as far as film is concerned, he said, choose a story that you admire, something that you love, and translate that faithfully to the screen and cast it properly. If you can do those two things, you're probably on your way to making a success. Your father gave the opportunity to your sister Angelica, your brother Tony, and to you, Danny, to work on his films. What is the most valuable heritage he gave you? Well, it's an opportunity to work, which is one of the most valuable things that one can give an individual. For me specifically, he gave me a fantastic screenplay, the screenplay for Mr. North. Have you any other projects for your beautiful sister Angelica to work with you again? No specific project, because I believe that it's the story that should bring us together, not our desire to work together. So there are a few things in the future which I could see her getting involved with, but it has to be because of the story, not because of our desire. What is your relationship with your brother-in-law, Jack Nicholson? Well, Jack is the most sort of lecherous. He has the most wonderful, filthy expression on his face that makes me laugh so much you can't imagine. And it is always a very enjoyable moment to be with him. And he has a sense of humor, which is very dirty, that I like a lot. How would you convince me to see Mr. North, your movie? It'll make you feel good. You have your daily routine, which is very realistic in your life, I'm sure, and you can experience a moment of magic and be entertained and leave the cinema with a smile on your face. Can you explain how your father, before he was about to die, gave you the information that he was going to be replaced by the great Robert Mitchum? Yes, he called me when I was in Newport, Rhode Island, and he said, Danny, is it okay if I send the screenplay to Robert Mitchum, just in case? And my reply was, of course, if it makes you feel better, it's the right thing to do. Eventually, he was not able to play the character, and Mitchum took over. Mitchum was prepared. We had a great day's shooting, and at the end of the day, we visited my father in the hospital, and Mitchum said, John, I'm so sorry. I never thought I would have to replace you in anything. And my father's reply was, "Don't worry, Bob, it's one of the biggest hoax I ever pulled." And he really tricked us into having Robert Mitchum. Can you give us some reflections on how you worked with big names like Robert Mitchum and the great diva Lauren Bacall? Yes, Robert Mitchum is very much a man's man, and in the morning I would say, "Bob, how are you today?" And he would say, "Worse." And I said, "Oh my God, but why every morning when I see you, you say you're worse?" And he says, "Well, one time I was in Ireland and I asked a good friend of mine how he was, and he said he was fine. The next thing I knew, he dropped dead at my feet. So from now on, I say I'm worse. Is that okay with you?" I said, "Fine." And Lauren Bacall is somebody that when she enters the set, the first thing you see is her arm and her hand extended, and you grab a hold of her hand, you lead her onto the set, and everybody knows she's there. She's a diva, she's a star. Is Mr. North your first movie, or is it your father's last film? Well, I think it's both. It's my film debut, and it's my entrance into the film industry, and it is my father's last effort in the film industry. So really it joins us together in that way, specifically.
Et pour être sûr de ne rien rater de Inarditube, abonnez-vous et mettez un pouce bleu.